be careful what I say, but I think it seemed it was a joint decision that they both started out in their careers as accountants at the same time, same level, and then when they decided to have children, it was decided that she would stay at home and look after the children, and his career, he flew. When they got divorced, what she's saying is, but I stayed, it was a choice for our family, therefore surely I deserve to have a stake of all this money you've earned, because I could have earned a similar amount.
In one respect, I do agree with where she's coming from, but I believe that we were not in the 1950s. People don't stay together, and divorce is, you know, the rate, I think it's 1 in 3. If we are realistic, it might not work out, and we have to be aware that if you do choose to stay at home, it is a choice that you're making. You are choosing to do that. I understand that.
But that's like saying, because it's predominantly women that stay. Yes, that's like discriminating against the woman always, isn't it? Saying, if you're the one that stays at home, sorry, but if we split up, I get the biggest chunk of the money because all you did was stay at home and you didn't work.
No, I'm not saying that, and I'm in no way am I discrediting anyone who chooses to look after their children. I would love to stay at home with my children. But I also believe that as women, we need our independence, and we need to make sure that people can't leave us in the lurch, and that's what I'm.
Yeah, you need to be looking out for
that. I think it's quite. I mean, maybe I'm being stupidly romantic, but I think it's quite sad to go into a marriage going, well, you know, 1 in 3. 1 in 3 end up divorced. We won't probably stay together, so I'm going to do this. And I think when you make the decision, you know, when you get married and you have kids, and one of you is potentially the biggest breadwinner, you know, like with me and Shane, for instance, we had that discussion of, we thought it was important. His career was really taking off. Mine was really going down the pan. And, all right.
You're back now.
And so it was a case of, I don't really want to leave my kids now. And he said, look, I'm earning enough. Why don't you stay at home? I'd rather you be.
But if it had been the other way round,
decision.
If it had been the other way round, it might well have been that you said, actually, my career is flying and his isn't doing so. He could have stayed at home.
Yeah, absolutely.
I honestly think that I couldn't live with myself if I was going to... If a marriage ends, I couldn't live with myself if I was going to take some tax off the man that I've been with for the rest of his life. I mean, you've got to get on and have some self-esteem. And, yes, you're entitled to some of money for the time you looked after the kids and so on. But, you know, can't you go back to work? Can't you look after yourself? I mean, I know it sounds
I suppose it depends
brutal,
where you're at with the children, doesn't it? In this case, the children had left home.
If they've left home and they've gone to university, why on earth do you want to be in that house, number one? Wouldn't you want to start your life again, to move on?
Not necessarily. Some people feel very attached to their family home. They've brought up their family. So I suppose what she's saying is, why should I move? Why should I sell the house?
I think it depends on how the marriage ended. I mean, they said that to me when me and Shane got divorced. One of the things the judge said was, you're 35, you can go back to work. I knew I could go back to work. Well, I didn't actually. I didn't know what I was going to do. But to go back to work, I then had to uproot my 2 boys from London and move back up north, because the only way I could work was my family were there to look after them. And there was a part of me that thought, but this has happened and it's not my fault.
It's not your fault.
Being blamed?
Okay, it's not your fault, but do you not think...
No fault.
But this is it. Do you not think you should have made... Do you regret not making a decision to be independent of him during the marriage? You did not regret that?
No.
Of course you... Well, okay, maybe you didn't, but I
tell
would.
you what, I find
If my husband left, or whatever happened, as you said, anything can happen. If my husband left me and I ended up with nothing, I'd blame myself. I'd say it's your own fault. You should have kept yourself on your own 2 feet.
I agree with Jamelia. I think in the modern world, you've got to have your self-esteem. You've got to look on your relationship as not being a thing that's going to last forever. It's not being negative, Colleen. It's being realistic.
Absolutely. But I'm not saying that. Well, now I'm the breadwinner with me and Ray. If me and Ray split up, I think he's entitled. Absolutely entitled to half of what I've earned, because without him, I couldn't have done that. Now, what I hate is the double standards of when I was splitting up from Shane, all my family and close friends said, you better get half of everything he's earned, blah, blah, blah. The same people now go, if you and Ray split up, you know, I don't think you should give him half, because you've earned it.
I
think it's really double standards.
That makes sense. I understand that. But if Ray did something wrong, I've been on the other side of this, so maybe I'm cynical, maybe I've been burnt, you know, but if Ray did something wrong, you're not, I guarantee you're not going to want to give him your money, and then for a court to turn around and tell you, you have to give them, you have to pay, because now they're accustomed to this life, it's not fair. And maybe I'm being too emotional about it.
When Shane did that to me, you're saying it was fair.
No, I'm not. I'm saying
I was wrong to even go for that.
No, I'm saying that you are entitled to something, but you should also blame yourself, because that's what I said. I said that he should blame himself for not being in an independent position. So when I decide to leave, you're left on the floor. That's your own fault. Not mine.
Interesting. It's interesting a younger woman's view, because I think, like you said, we have this more romantic view, possibly, of marriage.
No, but